you clicked on this video because you want to know more about this little fella right here. This is the Move Shoot Move Nomad Star Tracker. And look, I don't think I'm wrong by saying little fella. This thing is absolutely tiny. But being so small can lead to questions, I guess. I know I've got some questions about it, but you might have questions like, okay, I'm in the market to purchase a star tracker. I don't want to waste my money unless I know that a tracker is going to perform the way I want it to perform. Or you might have other questions. I had questions similar to its size and its ability, so I did reach out to Move Shoot Move, and they sent me this tracker to do a full review on my channel. Now, at the time of filming this intro, I hadn't used this tracker yet, so in many ways, I'm the same as you. I don't know what this tracker is capable of doing yet, but we'll soon find out. And just also, if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to drop them in the box below. I answer every comment that gets put into YouTube. But if you want to ask a question off of YouTube, feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want to do a private message or something like that. Some people prefer that, but I'm happy to answer those as well. Look, when you see the footage of me using this for the first time out in the field, that is going to be the first time I've used it. So that's going to help me give you a full, honest review of what this thing can and can't do. So we'll go through its limitations, who this tracker's for, and we'll look at the quality that it helps the camera get when we track the stars. So hopefully at the end of this video, and you get to the summary, I should be able to give you some clarity in which direction to head in if you're buying a star tracker, or if you've got any other questions you need answered, just ask away. But anyway, let's get into this video and see what this baby can do. Luckily, I only had a short walk up from my shack that's just behind us, or just behind you guys right now. But this is my testing spot behind me where I test all my stuff. So we're going to test the Move Shoot Move here tonight, and the first thing we're going to go through is the setup. Let's see how easy it's going to be, or how hard, I'm not sure yet, but let's see how good this thing really is. So overall, the setup was really simple. Everything was much lighter and much smaller than what I'm used to. With my Skywatcher, everything's quite bulky, so I was quite impressed with how simple it was to put together, especially in the night. It's definitely not easy with torches and bits and pieces. But then we coarsely aligned the tracker to the celestial pole by using the app. I will do another video on that to show you guys how to actually polar align your Move Shoot Move to the celestial pole, no matter whether you're in the southern or northern hemisphere. But yeah, so everything went together really simple, so I was extremely happy with that. So I've just fired off my first shot with my 20mm lens at 60 seconds. I've got it set to f2.8 and ISO 2000. I should have known that, but I have to check it anyway. I have got a moon out tonight, so it's sort of a bit of a crescent moon, so it's a bit more light than I really wanted. And you may notice I'm up against the wall now, which is actually a big boulder, just because the wind's come up, so I'm trying to get out the wind. But I've zoomed right in and checked out to see if there's any star trailing at 60 seconds, and from the back of my screen I cannot see any star trailing at all, so that looks amazing. So what we're going to do now is try at 90 seconds and see what we get. Alright, so here is the first image that I shot. So I shot this image at ISO 2000, 20mm, f2.8, and I shot it with a 60-second exposure just to see whether any trailing would appear. So bear in mind I used the 20mm lens, so that's a really wide focal length lens, so you should be pretty forgiving with that focal length. But let's have a look at the stars at 200%, and as you can see there, they are tack sharp, so that's really good. So I'm really impressed with that result. So that's really usable image also, if it wasn't for the blurry tree due to the tracker being on. And in this review, I'm not doing any fancy blended shots or anything like that. This is more just pure raw photos that come directly out of the camera as a result of using this star tracker. So I did point it in a different direction, and I had to repolar align it, and I did another shot at ISO 2000, 20mm, f2.8 and 60 seconds. And just so you know it's not a fluke, I repolar aligned it and moved the tracker deliberately to see how easy it was to polar align again and see if I got the same results. And yes, I got some really, really good sharp stars here as well. So I'm really super impressed with this tracker's ability. Next, I upped the ante a little bit more and I did ISO 2000, 20mm, f2.8 and 90-second exposure. So if there was issues with the tracker, this is where it would start showing up. But again, we're looking at some pretty tack sharp stars here. That's 300% we've zoomed in, so really, really good result. Now, I did also do a couple of exposures with my 50mm lens. So ISO 2000, it says 52. I don't know why it says 52. It's a 50mm lens, f2.8 and 60 seconds. So with a longer focal length, this is where trailing should really start showing up. And looking at this, that's 300%. Again, it's very tack sharp stars, especially zoomed in at 300%. So I'm really, really impressed with this little tracker's ability. Finally, I did do another shot at 50mm, ISO 2000, f2.8 and 90 seconds. I did notice some trailing. You can sort of just see the stars becoming a little bit oblong there. Look, it was a really windy night. I don't think it's fair to say that it was from the tracker without doing more testing. I ran out of time to do more testing that night, but I will chuck my 50mm lens back on this and see what I get at 90 seconds again. So on a not so windy night, mind you. But other than that, look, I'm really, really impressed with its results that this tracker has got. It's on par with some of the more expensive trackers, that's for sure. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this polar alignment bracket is it can be used in the southern hemisphere, which is what we're obviously in now. And the reason why it's sort of come about is we can't shine lasers up into the sky here in Australia or in the southern hemisphere, just with the local laws and things like that. So we have to polar align most things either by polar scope or by a phonat, which is better for me in this case because I've got a crook back, so I can't bend down. So the polar plate is a good thing. But just bear in mind, this can be used in the northern hemisphere as well. So if you've got a bad back like me or whatever and you can't bend down, then that is a really good option. So keep that in mind for the future. And I will put up everything on the screen so you can see what combinations the Move Shoot Move does come in. Now I just want to go over some of the kits you can purchase from Move Shoot Move or your local dealer, whatever it is in your country or state. So first of all, a kit that I would recommend for the Northern Hemisphere would be the Nomad Grab and Go. This could also for beginners and professional astrophotographers. Now the reason why I say it's mainly for the Northern Hemisphere is it comes with a laser, and a laser is pretty much a no-no in the Southern Hemisphere. And besides that, in the Southern Hemisphere, we don't really have anything to point it towards. There is the Sigma Octanus up there somewhere, but it is almost impossible to see. So there's no point even shining a laser into the sky. The second kit I would recommend, and since we're talking about the Southern Hemisphere, is this kit here. So this is the Richard Tarty inspired astrophotography kit for the Southern Hemisphere. So it comes with a V plate, which you're definitely going to need, which is this little fella here. It comes with a ball head, the actual tracker itself, a little rotating base, a phone mount, and also it comes with a wedge. So if you're starting out and you don't have a star tracker or any wedges or anything like that, this is the kit to purchase due to it having everything you possibly need. Otherwise, you end up buying a tracker by itself and then you'll be coming back looking for more stuff. So this is where I would personally start if I was buying a tracker from scratch. The other option is you might have everything already in your kit. So you might have a wedge, you might have ball heads. You can then purchase the star tracker by itself if you really wanted to go down that path. But look, for what it's worth, I think purchasing a kit is definitely the way to go. We're back in the studio and you see me use this tracker out in the field now, so I can give you my honest opinion on what I actually think about this tracker. And before we go any further, I just wanted to make it clear that there is nothing in it for me whether you purchase this tracker or not. This is just my honest opinion and review after using this tracker out in the field. So look, there is many trackers on the market, and it's probably a good time to cover off who this tracker is for. This tracker is for someone that wants to get into nightscape photography, and it could be someone that is on a tight budget as well, because this thing is much cheaper than some of the other trackers out there on the market. But if you wanted to get into deep sky photography, then I would be looking down a different path or a different tracker, something that can hold a little bit more payload. This fella here will hold, I think it's about 3 kilos or about 6.6 pounds, I think that equates to. And that is pretty much going to handle a proper mirrorless camera with a wide focal length lens. So that's absolutely perfect for that. And look, I was really impressed with its build quality and overall performance out in the field. I got some really, really good results with Tax Sharp stars. So again, if you are looking to purchase a tracker or get into nightscape photography, then I would highly recommend a tracker like this, that's for sure. Now look, if this video has helped you in any way or has answered some questions for you, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's 100% free and it helps me continue making content like this. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.